शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। Prapancho yadi vidyeta. If there is really a prapancha, meaning if there were really a Dvaitam, then for the Advaitam to be there, Dvaitam has to go. This is a peculiar thing. Dvaitam has to go. The Jagat has to go. Prapancho yadi vidyeta nivarteta. It should go. Na samshayaha. उसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है. If there is a Dvaitam and if Advaitam has to rule, if I have to experience the Advaitam, then the experience of the Dvaitam has to go. I can't have both the experiences. When there is Dvaita Anubhava, I can't have Advaita Anubhava. So if I have to have Advaita Anubhava, Dvaita Anubhava has to go. Bhashkar says, Maya matram idam Dvaitam. But this Dvaitam is only Maya matram. It is only perceived to be there, it is not there. Advaitam is. Dvaitam is only perceived to be there. Perception cannot go. Perception can be changed, can be corrected. Maya matram idam Dvaitam. This whole Dvaitam is Maya matram. Maya is in Srishti Prakriya. We use this term Maya for the Nama Rupas. The manifest Nama Rupa and the unmanifest Nama. Any Nama Rupa in Srishti Prakriya, Maya Shabda is used to refer to the names and forms. The unmanifest names and forms are called Maya, and the manifest names and forms are called Maya Srishti. Thus Maya Shabda refers to in Srishti Prakriya, but this Maya is nothing but avidya kalpitam. Avidya is the problem. Maya is a part of Prakriya. Maya and avidya cannot be synonymous. Avidya is erroneous knowledge. Even though Maya means avidya kalpitam, Maya is not something that is called avidya. Maya is not used in the sense of avidya. Maya means avidya kalpita namarupa. Self non-understanding, born misperceptions called the names and forms, they are called Maya. Maya is the result of avidya. Maya is the result of avidya, not avidya. But Maya doesn't also, Maya is not considered as the problem. Maya is a prakriya. Avidya is the names and forms don't exist there except as erroneous perception about oneself. I am perceiving myself as the perceiver of name and form. That is called the adhyasa. And therefore, this Jagat being Maya, it can't go. It can be corrected. Avidya kalpitam can be corrected by Vidya. Misconceptions are born of non-understanding about the truth. Then while correcting those names and forms, the Shastra uses the term Maya. Maya is used by the Shastra. Maya is not a societal term. Maya is not a societal term, but it percolates in the society, a society in which there is Shastra. Shastra uses the term Maya. Shastra uses the term Maya. Shastra uses the term Maya. It means avidya kalpita nama rupa. Avidya kalpita nama rupa is called Maya. Strictly speaking, avidya kalpita avyakrita nama rupa is Maya. Avidya kalpita avyakrita nama rupa is called Maya. And avidya kalpita avyakrita nama rupa become vyakrita. That is called Maya Srishti. Therefore, if somebody asks a question, if name and form are Maya, Vyakrita name and form are Maya Srishti, let us say Maya, this name and form Vyakritam or Avyakritam is Maya. कहाँ से आया? अविद्या कल्पिता. What is avidya kalpitam? Same nama rupa. In the context of teaching, they are called Maya because they are not actually there. Why the names and forms are actually there? The sense of reality, they are not real because they are avidya kalpita. See? Why Maya is called Maya? Why it is called Maya means the false. The false. Maya means the false. Why it is false? Because it is avidya kalpita. Then you don't require further pramana. Anything that is avidya kalpitam is false. This is all false, not because the Shastra says it so, but because it is avidya kalpita. Therefore it is false. Sarpa is false. It is a false sarpa. Why? Avidya kalpita. Why? Non-understanding of the rope has led to misunderstanding of it as a snake. Anything that is avidya kalpitam is avidya kalpitatvam is the final explanation for falsity. It is avidya kalpitam. Mirage is avidya kalpitam. Mirage is avidya kalpitam, therefore it is false. Maya means false. Why it is all Maya? Because it is avidya. That has to come. Maya is Maya because it is avidya kalpitam. Avidya kalpitam, it is avidya kalpitam. It happens to be avidya kalpitam. Why it is avidya kalpitam, you can't say. It happens to be avidya kalpitam. It is anadi. Avidya kalpitatvam is the reason for everything being false. Everything is false because it is avidya kalpitam. Why it is avidya kalpitam, you can't say. There is no reason for ignorance. Ignorance is anadi. At best I say, ignorance is there because I don't think. I don't understand. That itself is called ignorance. It is one block. That I misunderstand, that I don't understand, and that I don't reflect is one and the same. It's all one block. Therefore, ignorance is the reason for the falsity. There is no reason for ignorance. At best I say I don't understand because I don't look at myself. I don't look at myself because my ignorance doesn't allow me to look at myself. They're all one block. That I don't understand myself. Why I don't understand myself? I don't look at myself seriously. Why I don't look at myself? My own self-ignorance doesn't allow me to look at myself. And why it doesn't allow me to look at myself? Because that is its nature. That's called distraction. Snake perception doesn't allow me to look at it as rope. My conclusion that it is snake, nothing else, comes in the way of my taking a closer look also. My sense of aram se sunna. My sense of reality of the snake doesn't allow me even to take a closer look at the rope. Why? Because I can eat a snake, then what is the use of? Where is the need to take a closer look unless there is a doubt? If I don't have a doubt, I don't investigate. My sense of reality that I am the body is so complete. It involves no doubt. And even if a person entertains a doubt, it's a passing doubt, not a serious doubt. What are we? Kahan se aaya? Kahan jaunga? It is only, there is still 5 more minutes, for breakfast to go. Therefore, during these 5 minutes, he has a spiritual reflection. You understand, Most of the doubts are just passing doubts. Serious doubts are not there. When the doubt is not there, there is no investigation. When there is no investigation, there is no verification, there is no serious, there is no probe, there is no taking a closer look. Is all one block, that I don't know myself, that I am not allowed to know myself, that I don't have a doubt, my complete sense of reality that I am the form, all these things have to be one block. That is why ignorance and error. There is no doubt. Bhagavan says agrahanam, anyatha grahanam, samshaya grahanam. If there is a person who thinks, when he begins the enquiry, then he thinks maybe I am this, maybe I am not this. In the process of enquiry, he may get a serious doubt. Samshaya jnana. A layman has no doubt. But once you become a student of Vedanta, sometimes you get a doubt. Is what Vedanta is saying true? Am I really the form? I transcend the form in sleep, but again I assume the form. Am I really the form? Am I really not the form? This kind of a doubt, it comes to the mind only when you become a serious student of the truth. But in Drishtanta they are given. Sometimes you see a rope for snake, then there is agrahanam of the rope, then there is samshaya, there is a anyatha grahanam of the rope, then sometimes doubt happens. Doubt also is a possibility. In the realm of ignorance and error, doubt is a possibility. Doubt is referred to by Bhashyakara as a possibility. It can happen any time. Supposing it doesn't move away, I get a doubt. That is also part of avidya. Any doubt. Non-understanding is avidya, misunderstanding is avidya. If there is a doubtful understanding, that is also avidya. Doubt is avidya. But for a layman, there is no doubt. There is no serious doubt. There is only Anyata Grahanam. Agrahanam and Anyata Grahanam. I don't know. He doesn't know himself and he takes himself to the form and he keeps going. There is no scope for the doubt. The scope for the doubt is in the context of the Shruti. When I am studying the Shruti, I may get a doubt. Is it true? It looks as though true. My God, yes, I do transcend the form. My transcending the form is indeed my knowledge, my experience. It's not my belief. If I leave the form, it is my experience, not my belief. If I assume the form again, it's my experience. If I transcend the form, it is my experience. What is that experience? I become investigative into myself. I take a closer look. That is called investigation. I say, kuch nahi. Let us use the term, I become investigative into myself. Because of there is a doubt. Therefore, doubt doesn't exist about oneself in the mind of a layman. Even when he entertains a doubt, it is a passing doubt, please. It's not a very serious doubt. Who created God? A child asks. Is it an abiding doubt? It's nothing, just for the sake of. A child says, who created God? If you say God created everything, then the logic says, then who must have created God? It is a logical sequence, Ji. Any child who has some, is going to school, even a village school, a person who is not going to school also, it is a common sense sequence. Common sense sequence. जैसे मैं घर जाऊंगा, फिर खाना खाऊंगा, फिर सो जाऊंगा, फिर उठूंगा, ऐसा बोलेंगे, फिर चल उसके बाद क्या करेंगे? सिंपल. अरे माँ मेरा बच्चा इतनी इंटरेस्ट, उसमें क्या है? सिंपल सीक्वेंस जी. उसके बाद क्या है? उठ के क्या करेंगे? मम्मी चाय पिएंगे, उसके बाद फिर खाना बनाऊंगा, उसके बाद. This questioning, is it great? Does it really show intelligence? Which no, it is a common sense. Anybody, even a crackpot can ask these questions. I don't consider a child who asks a question, who created God, as brilliant. ऐसा कुछ नहीं. A child who in fact who thinks maybe he created and maybe has not created, we don't know anything. He is more bright than the one who says who created God. These are all common sense sequences. You create a sequence, it makes it easy for the child to ask a question. God created this world. Then who created God? It's like asking who is my father and who is my grandfather. It's like, yeah. It's almost like, in the south, there were some parents. मेरा बेटा अभी 19 साल पूरा भी नहीं किया. मम्मी को मम्मी कहते हैं, पापा. मम्मी को मम्मी कहते हैं, पापा को पापा कहते हैं. कितना ब्रिलियंट. अभी 19वां साल. ये क्या ब्रिलियंस है जी? Therefore, a lot of spiritual questions that human beings ask is just meaningless. And therefore, a layman has no abiding doubts about himself. He is completely under illusion that I am a form, bas. I am nothing else. I am a form, I am nothing else. Even if somebody says, no, you are not the form, a child is not the form. Does he take it seriously? He takes your sanity seriously. Is he really sane? He has a doubt about your mental health. That doubt, he has got a very serious doubt. Therefore, agrahanam, anyatha grahanam alone are there in the case of a layman. Independent of the Shastra, if you get a doubt, it is only in the realm of causation. Never in the realm of the truth. Are you able to follow what I am saying? It's like this is made of this, and that is made of that, that is made of that, this is the effect of that, and that is the effect of what could be the cause of that. What could be the cause of that? Like scientists are in the grip of finding out the ultimate cause. That's a doubt. As every scientist, every physicist has a doubt. What could be the ultimate cause of matter? But even the ultimate cause of matter, he wants it to be material. That is the problem. He has already concluded that it has to be physical. Having concluded that it has to be physical, then he says, what could be that physical substance, which is the ultimate cause of this physical substance? Therefore, in the realm of causation, you can always have a doubt independent of the Shastram. But without the Shastram, you can never have a doubt about your identity. Am I a form? Am I not a form? If from the society, if there is a student who comes to Vedanta with a doubt like Nachiketa, for example, even Nachiketa asked a doubt which is very simple. When I die, people say it is there. It is again, there is an exposure of there is a pervasion of the Shruti. Our feeling says nothing remains. The Shastra says something remains. That means even though you have not studied Vedanta, it is there in the air. Understand? In Indian context, the Shastram is there in the air. That there is something called Atma which is eternal. These are all Shravanam. The whole society is exposed to some salient thoughts. Some crucial thoughts of Vedanta. Maya. These are all Shastra. But in a society where there is no availability of the Shastra as a teaching, where it is not there available in the air, you can't have a doubt about. And if a Christian thinks that one goes to heaven, it is heard. But independent of any exposure to any Shruti, any religion, one says, nothing is left. I die. I am there and I will not be there. I was not there, I am there, I will not be there. Therefore, in the case of a layman, samshaya jnanam is not possible. Doubt is not possible. That's why I say in the case of Atma Jnanam, in the case of the truth, when I am exposed to the Shruti, then I get serious doubts. Exposure gives me serious doubts. I can entertain a serious doubt about what Shastra is saying. I can get a serious doubt about what I think about myself. Serious doubt is about both. So Shastra is saying something, but I think like this. I have a doubt as to which could be that, which could be true. Therefore, in the realm of causation, my own tarka creates a doubt. But my tarka cannot create a doubt about myself. Am I a form? Am I not a form? Tarka cannot create a doubt. Very difficult. Even if it creates a doubt, it is because the Shastram is there in the air. I go by that. If an Indian becomes a Virakta, it is born of Shastram. Even though he has not studied Shastram, Shastram is there in the air. The word Atma is there in the air. The word Moksha is there in the air. The teaching that Atma is not the Deha is there in the air. Therefore, I imbibe those thoughts in the air. And based upon those thoughts, I may become a Virakta. I may get a doubt about myself. I become reflective. Nachiketa was reflective. Some say like this, some say like that. But he has never studied Vedanta. Before he went to Yama, he had not had any exposure to Vedanta. How did he come to know? Because the Shastra is there in the air. This is a point missed out by many people. If somebody becomes a sadhu, how did he come? Say it is there in the air. In fact, we are constantly exposed, like how we are constantly breathing air, we are also breathing the thoughts, the Shastric thoughts. Understand? Therefore, independent of Shastra, either in the form of teaching or in the form of the thoughts in the air, nobody can have a doubt about it. Like a tribal, he lives and dies. And even beliefs don't create any doubt, Since I take it for granted, I am the form, but my religion says after death I will go to heaven. With that thought I live. But I can't have an investigation creating a doubt. Because beliefs don't warrant verification. Beliefs don't demand verification. Where there is no demand for verification, you don't reflect. There is no doubt. Whereas the Shastric statements are all available for verification. Therefore I become reflective. Serious doubts, and therefore I say, serious doubts are possible only in the course of the study of Vedanta. When I am not studying Vedanta, I may have a passing doubt, like who created Bhagavan, etc. Then he will say, Beta, aisa mat kaho, Bhagavan is not created, Bhagavan is always there. Why? Papa created me. Papa also was created by bigger Papa. He was also created. Every Papa also has a Papa. Similarly, every Bhagavan also must be having another Bhagavan. He will say, अच्छा चलो टाइम हो गया भोजन के लिए जाओ खाना खाओ सो जाओ. He says, this you should have told me long ago. ये होता नहीं जी. Regarding the truth, you can't have doubts like that. It is only when you are exposed to the literature of the truth you get doubts, not otherwise. Anyway, this is Maya matram idam dvaitam, advaitam paramarthataha. Dvaitam doesn't have to go for the advaitam to be experienced. Even when I am perceiving Dvaitam, I am experiencing Advaitam. Dvaita Anubhava does not replace Advaita Anubhava. Advaita Anubhava is Anubhava Swarupam. Dvaita Anubhava is Advaitam is Anubhava Vishayam. Anubhava Vishayam cannot replace Anubhavam. An object of experience cannot replace experience. An object of experience cannot replace experience. An object of perception cannot replace perception. Perception cannot replace the perceiver. Perceiver cannot replace the Swarupam, the non-dual. The false mithya cannot replace the Satyam. Therefore, this particular jid, जब तक द्वैत है अद्वैत नहीं होगा, जब द्वैत जाता है तभी अद्वैत आता है, is meaningless. Dvaitam doesn't replace Advaitam. Dvaitam is an adhyasa about the Dvaitam. Dvaitam is a anubhava vishayam. Advaitam is anubhava swarupam. Experience is experience per se is Advaitam. An object of that, like light. The light is Advaitam. The lighted up is Dvaitam. The lighted up doesn't replace the light. Therefore, there may be the lighted up is parallel to the light, but here the Dvaitam is not parallel to Advaitam. It is a distortion about Advaitam. Therefore, Dvaitam doesn't have to go for the Advaitam to be experienced. There is Advaita Anubhava despite Dvaita perception. Despite the sense of duality, there is Anubhava for Dvaitam. Like you see the object. You not only see the object, you see the sense of division, that sense of division, whatever it is. There is no sense of division, it is a cooked up sense of division. Because I see myself as the form. Between the form and that another form, there is a division. Therefore, I say, I am different and that is different because I equate myself with the form. When I look at myself as a form, I say I am different from that form. So this is called sense of division between myself and what I see. And the sense of division cannot be felt without equation with the form. Because between the formless and the form, there is no gap. Between the formless and the form, between the seer and the seen, there is no space. Because the space also is seen. Now the seer of the form is the seer of. The seer of the seer-seen relationship is not seer of, it is non-dual. Otherwise it will create anavastha. The seer of the seer-seen relationship is not another seer, it is non-dual sight. Otherwise you will create, I am the seer of the form, I am the seer of the seer-seen relationship. Then if there is a seer-seen relationship, then again I say there is a sense of division between me and that seer-seen relationship. Then I become the seer of the seer-seen relationship. In this manner it will go to anavastha. Therefore, I am a seer of the object, but I am not a seer of the seer-seen relationship. As the seer of the seer-seen relationship, I am not a seer, I only am existence. Being. When the thinking resolves, the culmination of the thinking is in the being. The thinking doesn't culminate in a subtler thinking. Thinking doesn't culminate in another kind of thinking. If thinking culminates in thinking, that is what is called anavastha. Thinking does not culminate in in thinking. Thinking culminates in being. That is why thinking can be handled. I can have sleep because thinking culminates in being. In sleep you are not thinking, you are only being peaceful. You have to capture the sense of that word being somehow or other. To be. To be is the nature of the being. It is a conscious being. It has no nature of thinking. Thinkerness is kalpita. Being is its nature. Thinkerness. That is why dhyayati iva. Lelayati iva. Truth as though thinks. Truth as though does. Physical movement is as though. I am moving is as though. I am thinking also is as though. I am projecting a thought is as though. I am withdrawing the thought also is as though. That is also an error. Pravritti is as though. Nivritti also is as though. So if pravritti is as though and the nivritti is as though, then the nature of one's being is neither pravritti nor nivritti. It to be. Thus thinking culminates in being. And the right understanding is you have to think in a way, you have to think correctly, and the correct thinking culminates with thinking in the being. Therefore, I can be the seer of the mountain. It looks as though thinking, I am the seer of. But if I am a seer of the seer-seen relationship, that seer is not a thinking, it is being. The seer of the seer-seen relationship only is not a seer of, it is seer is. The seer of the mountain is a seer of the mountain, but the seer of the seer-seen relationship is not a seer of the relationship, is only the seer is. Like the sand is not. Even though in the teaching we say the sand becomes the sand thought, let me become the mirage, and it became the mirage, and it supports the mirage, and it resolves the mirage as the support, as the creator is Brahma sand, and then Vishnu sand, and then Shiva sand, etc. This is all thinking. Even teaching is also in the form of right thinking. What is the right thinking? Tracing the thinking to being. That is right thinking. Whereas the wrong thinking is, the thinking is made anavastha. It doesn't really, it's not traced to being. Thinking leads to thinking, leads to thinking, leads to thinking. I am thinking in terms of thinking leading to thinking, not thinking tracing to the being. Desire leads to desire, desire leads to desire. It's leading to, perpetuating. Thinking perpetuates thinking. I go on thinking. A layman's thinking is thinking leading to thinking. Whereas Shastra thinking is, thinking leads to thinking, but the right way of it, the thinking stems from the being. It is an appearance in the being, stays in the being, and resolves in being. And that being is the illuminer of not only the form, but even there is a sense of division that also is lighted up by the Advaita. Therefore, the truth of all the thinking is the Sat, the being. And therefore the entire Viveka is in the form of thinking and being. Otherwise you don't have to think between, you don't have to discern between thinking and thinking. Both are thinking. What is that? Therefore, the known meaning of the Viveka has no meaning at all. The known meaning of the Viveka in this world has no meaning at all. I see, I discern between this color and that color, and this color is attractive. These are all meaningless. It's also Viveka, but it's a kya fayda? Because this is also thinking, that is also thinking. Therefore, discerning between thinking and even dharma and adharma is both. Dharma also is a thinking, adharma also is a thinking. Maybe it may be good thinking, bad thinking, that's all right. But thinking it is. But freedom lies in good thinking or bad thinking. Freedom lies in the being. And Shastra's thinking is the right thinking, that is, you are not a thinker, you are a being. You are a being. Not a good thinking, bad thinking, but right thinking, that you are the being. Right thinking is not thinking, right thinking is being. Because right thinking culminates in the being. That is the Tatparya. The right thinking's Tatparya means being. But ethical thinking and non-ethical thinking does not culminate in, the Tatparya is not being. The ethical thinking leads to pleasure, the non-ethical thinking leads to the pain, and pleasure and pain also is thinking. Therefore, thinking perpetuates thinking. But when you come to the Shastra, it makes you think right, and the right thinking's Tatparya means the very realm of thinking is falsified. Kitni achhi baat hai ji. Right thinking falsifies the very realm of thinking. And if it falsifies the entire realm of thinking, all your this, this सांसारिक बातें, वहाँ पर वो नहीं मिला, यहाँ पर ये नहीं मिला, उधर ये मुश्किल है. This entire mess is falsified. I'm telling you. It's like bursting a bubble. It's all gone. You get a sigh of relief, Baba. That means generally what happens is we go on thinking regrets. That I could have done that, it couldn't do. There are always regrets of the past. And in the language of Swami Chinmayanandaji, the regrets of the past, the anxieties of the future, and the excitements of the present. All the three are only thinking. And we have problems only about these three. I keep thinking about क्या हो सकता था, क्या नहीं हुआ. I could have married. Maybe another girl. It always regrets. Maybe अच्छा ऐसा होता था, भगवान ने थोड़ा ज़्यादा पैसा देता तो I could have done this, and these are all regrets, meaningless. You discover the meaninglessness of all regrets and meaninglessness of all anxieties for the future and meaninglessness of all the excitements in the present. It's a relief and you feel blessed. I think I have got, by this Shastra, I have got much more than all that God could have given. Even God could not have given me more. Even God could not have given me more than His literature. And therefore, Maya matram idam dvaitam. Therefore, in reflection, you don't have to wait for something to go please. In every perception, the truth is in its fullness. Water is in its fullness behind in every way. In every bubble, water is in its fullness. Therefore, there is no such a thing, because freedom cannot be in the form of waiting for something to come or waiting for something to go. The whole setup as it is, I figure out the whole setup as one silence. The entire mess one figures out as one being. Like the entire ocean, the wave looks at the entire ocean and figures out it is just one water. Yes. Therefore, you don't wait for the waves to rise or fall to discover water. And therefore, this Nirvikalpa Samadhi wale सोचते रहते हैं, let all the thoughts subside and hide. It may help you to do reflection, but the actuality of the truth is, even when your mind is in a mess, the truth of it is absolute composure. There is a mess of noise, but the truth of it is silence. This is called Vedanta. Therefore, Maya matram idam dvaitam. The Dvaitam is Maya. It looks to be. Advaitam is what is. And more usefully, let me tell you, what you see is an object of your experience. You are your experience. You are not an object of your experience. You are Anubhava Swarupa. And therefore, Anubhava Vishayam cannot replace Anubhava Swarupa. Just as an object of thought cannot replace thought. Or the seen cannot replace the seer. The seer cannot replace the being. The wave can't replace water. This is another line of thinking. It cannot replace. Truth is irreplaceable, is another way of thinking, correct thinking. It doesn't allow you to make a mistake. It's not replaceable. A creation doesn't replace the source. Generally, we always say when one comes, the other goes away. We always think in terms of replacements. A comes, B goes. B comes, A goes. This thinking is commonplace in human mind. This is an age-old habit. This is a swabhavika thinking. The swabhavika thinking alone becomes the habits anyway. Habits are not cultivated. This very swabhavika thinking really becomes a highlight in the mind that becomes a habit. Even drinking is a swabhavika, because just to forget, I want to dope my mind so that I can be peaceful. Because sura, intoxication is a swabhava, understand? Like anger is a swabhava, swabhavikam. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Anything, intoxication also is a sign, some kind of a mada. It's a swabhavikam. Therefore, we always think in terms of a habit. It's swabhavikam, it is anadi habit that we always think of things. One comes, the other goes. And if both come, they are together. They are parallel. This problem is there. We always think in terms of one replacing the other, and if both are there, they are twins. They are parallel. We think of parallelness, we think of replacement. But the method that I am giving you is something, it's a foolproof method. Truth cannot be replaced by anything. Advaitam cannot be replaced by Dvaitam. Formlessness cannot be replaced by the form. The seer cannot be replaced by the seen. The non-dual cannot be replaced by Dvaitam. The gender-free cannot be replaced by an appearance of gender. Oh my God, the timeless cannot be replaced by time. That established that the Satyam cannot be replaced by Mithya. You think in these terms, you just, cancel out, you correct your age-old habit of thinking of things, mutual replacement or mutual togetherness. Mutual replacement. एक आया दूसरा गया, राम आया लक्ष्मण चले गए, लक्ष्मण आया राम चले गए. इस प्रकार रिप्लेसमेंट्स. सुख आया दुख चले गया, दुख आया सुख चले गया. लाइक दिस वी थिंक इन टर्म्स ऑफ रिप्लेसमेंट्स, द्वंद्वास, और वी थिंक इन टर्म्स ऑफ पैरेलल्स. But once we say one comes, one goes on coming and going, but when it comes it doesn't replace the self. When it goes it doesn't replace the self. Pravritti doesn't mean anything to the truth, nivritti doesn't mean anything to the truth. Think in these terms. Our existence is not replaced by what we think. The being is not replaced by thinking. Thinking can replace thinking. Right thinking can replace wrong thinking. Good thinking, ethical thinking replaces unethical thinking. Pleasure replaces pain. Okay, these are all thoughts. Vritti replaces vritti. But thinking doesn't replace the being, and that being is what we are. You may go on looking at thinker, seer, rememberer, etc., but actually that is all what you are doing. That's not what you are. The effortlessness is at the level of your being. Thinking is an effort. ये बात को रिफ्लेक्ट करना चाहिए. This is all that is to be done. There is no other vichara ji, because thinking is anubhava vishaya, and one's own existence is anubhava swarupa, discerning bit. There is no, I don't have to become mystical and all that. In the name of spirituality, you don't go into trance and ecstasy and singing and dance. What do you get out of it? Others will have entertainment, seeing you. You entertain others, you don't enlighten others. You see? Does a joker enlighten others? Does a joker enlighten others? What does he do? Entertains others. Vedanta is not a joker. To entertain others. It is meant to enlighten about the truth, the peace. Tasmat. Therefore, you don't have to wait for the Dvaitam to go. So this is the question there is. जब तक द्वैत है अद्वैत नहीं है, जब द्वैत नहीं है तब अद्वैत है. इसलिए प्रपंच को जाना चाहिए, प्रपंच का खत्म होना चाहिए, तभी अद्वैत हो सकता है. जब तक, as long as I am seeing the world, how can I be Advaitam? This is all the arguments. You see, the truth is there despite the perception of Dvaitam. Even when you don't understand the falsity of Dvaitam, the truth is despite Dvaitam, despite the unfalsified Dvaitam, Advaitam is. Do you think that Advaitam won't be there with the falsification of Dvaitam? इस प्रकार जब तक द्वैत है तब तक अद्वैत नहीं है. जब द्वैत चले जाती है तब अद्वैत है, ये बात गलत है. Why? Because Dvaitam is not parallel to Advaitam. It is an error about Advaitam. It is a distortion about Advaitam. Tasmat, therefore, Jagannama, Jagat aisa naam wali, Brahmanaha karyabhutam na kinchid vastutaha eva utpadyate. The world is not actually born of Brahman. Brahman does not result in Jagat. Brahman is seen as Jagat. See, after after using so much of language, it is created by God, it is born of God, it manifests in God. There are so many words are used. They all create problems if you are a serious student. Because I don't experience it is coming out of Brahman, etc. I only see it, it's my perception. It is a perception about the truth. Like snake cannot be explained away satisfactorily as a creation, etc., etc. Fundamentally, it should be accepted as an erroneous perception. Then to correct it, then you use the prakriya. To begin with, you have to say it is a perception. Then to treat it, then to tackle it, then you say, adopt the prakriya. What is the prakriya? It is born of the rope, sustained by the rope, goes back onto the rope, therefore it is non-separate from the rope, therefore what looks like snake is indeed. And when you discover it, what goes away? Srishti, Sthiti, Laya go away or perception goes away? Yes, prakriya corrects the erroneous perception. Prakriya corrects the erroneous perception. And therefore, this Jagat is not really, a layman thinks it, how can it be created, how can it be born, how can it be manifest, etc. So then we say, my dear sir, all these are all prakriyas meant to help you correct your own perception. Fundamentally, what is Jagat? It is a perception about yourself. You are not seeing Jagat, you are seeing yourself as the seer of the Jagat. The being is seen as the seer, as a doer. The being the sign, the being the seer is seen as the seer of. The peaceful being is seen as the turbulent seer of something, thinker of something. Tasmat jagannama brahmanaha karyabhutam na kinchid vastutaha eva utpadyate napi kenachit upayena nivartyate. Nor can it be removed. Jagat cannot be removed. It can be understood correctly. It cannot be created, it cannot be removed. It doesn't come, it doesn't go. Snake doesn't come, snake doesn't go. Life doesn't come, life doesn't go. Life is seen. Body doesn't come, body doesn't go. That is how it is seen. Body is only seen. I am seeing myself as the body. You see, when as long as I see that I am the body, I am thinking in terms of I came and I will go. But when I cease to be the body, then there are no thoughts of coming and going, you see. Therefore, comings and goings are felt in the realm of equation. Life and death are felt in the realm of equation. When there is no equation, there is no thought of birth and death. Therefore, understand, within the realm of adhyasa, within the realm of adhyasa, within the realm of wrong thinking is all kinds of thinking. Therefore, you can't say Jagat comes and goes, the body comes and goes, I come and go. Even this idea I come and go is all in the realm of I am Deha. Therefore, if this idea that I am Deha is not there, then there is no idea of I come and go. Therefore, even when a person is firmly convinced, no, we have come and we will go, I say, it's all true. It's a firm error felt in the firm equation. Your firmness is not Your firmness of the will, your firmness of conclusion is not different from the firmness our stupidity was. Yes. Therefore, firmness of the equation. Your beliefs may be shakily firm. Your idea that you come and go may be shakily firm. But your equation is unshakably firm. It is only the Shastra which comes and says, there is nothing to be shaken also. Because it is an error. Dehoham is an error. Therefore, Tasmat Jagannam Brahmanaha Karyabhutam Nakinchid Vastutahaye Utpadyate Napikena Chidupayena Nivarchate Vedanta Vihita Brahmatmaikatva Jnanena Tu. It doesn't come and it doesn't go, but by the Vedanta, by the knowledge taught by Vedanta, Tasya Maya Matratvam Brahmanaha Ananyatvam Cha Jnapyate. Jnapyate means samjhaya jata hai. By the Vedanta, a jiva samjhaya jata hai is pointed out to him. That is called jnapyate. Yad dilana. Is taught. Let me tell you that. He is only taught, sir, that it is Maya Matram, and because it is Maya, it is non-separate from the Vastu. Because it is Mithya, it is non-separate from the Satyam. Ananyatva means Jnapyate. No one object is non-separate from another object. That's meaningless. It's not Ananyatvam is only in the one realm. Only the error is Ananya with the truth. Form is Ananya with the formless. Creation is non-Ananya with the source. Mithya is Ananya with the Satyam. Nowhere this Ananyatvam is there. Even when you say the table is Ananya with the wood, it means the Mithya is Ananya with the Satyam. But table is not Ananya with the chair. You tell me one place where, one instance where there is Ananyatvam other than this. One man cannot be Ananya with another man. Children cannot be Ananya with the parents. Can they be Ananya? Mera beta. You may just, if he is Ananya, why do you have to do like this? You have to take him in your arms. And the son also says, wait for some more years. Ye hota nahi ji. Spiritual wisdom is what keeps you happy in life. You can cope with even sansara, sansarika ups and downs with their ease. Because Ananyatvam can only be of the creation with God. One man cannot be Ananya with another man. No object can be Ananya with another object. Ananya is only of the appearance with the reality. Ananyatvam is something that is pointed out only by the Shruti. Nowhere there. Even when we talk about in common parlance inseparability, it's more of a closeness, unity. Unity is different from Ananyatvam. Unity is togetherness. Four brothers can have unity. Unity is strength. Even in the society we say ekata, it means only unity. Ekata mein bada majbooti hai, they say, every party comes and says, desh ki ekata mein. But what is that? It is only unity of many. And the many continue. That is why the unity has to be sustained. Why? Because they fall apart otherwise. All joint families fall apart. You have to, the head of the family has to keep, it is almost like a Lok Sabha speaker he is. The very head of the family, he has to face musibat like Lok Sabha speaker. It's such a big headache. Having to listen to all these jokers. What a papaji. What a way of wasting life. If I were Lok Speaker, I would say, I would give them each one AK-47, Lado. क्या करना? Irresponsible. But anyway, जिस संसार में सब चलता है. But if you have to be a head of the family to keep everybody peaceful, you have to listen to everybody. And सांत्वन भी करना पड़ता है. तभी तो joint family that's what is called sustaining. The one who has to sustain has to face the music. Please understand. If you have to sustain something, you have to face music. You have to go through so much of headache to sustain something ideal. You can't sustain unity. But Ananyatvam need not be. It's a fact. Ananyatvam is a fact. Where I don't have to sustain, that is Anandam. Because being doesn't have to be sustained. Therefore, nadudasya maya matram brahmana ananyatvam jajñāpyate iti jnayam. ये बात समझना चाहिए. भगवान says, ये बात समझना चाहिए. Therefore, your greatest luck depends upon leisurely exposure to Vedanta with a great brain to understand what it is. Use all your educational qualifications. Entire maturity has to bear upon this Vedanta. And please understand, the gender doesn't inhibit you, age doesn't inhibit you, your economic situation doesn't inhibit you, nothing need inhibit you because you are intelligent. If I have the intelligence, it is that intelligence alone that is used to understand the truth. I can sit under a tree and think. I can sit in a mansion and also think. What is there, Ji? You don't have to feel inhibited. Oh my God, how can I study? इतनी बड़ी बिल्डिंग में रहता हूँ, तो वेदांत के बारे में कैसे? It's too embarrassing to think of Vedanta living in Rashtrapati Bhavan, etc. Why not? ऐसा वो भी मिट्टी है, वो भी part of creation. For all you are living only in your own sharira. Equation is only with the sharira. That's why India did not create monuments, because in order to understand truth, you don't require mansions, and the glory doesn't depend upon, you don't have to create for spiritual glory, you don't have to create any monument. For material glories, material glorification attracts monuments. He came to know the truth and he became happy. For that, what is the monument? Therefore, this also, somebody asked me a question, why such a great culture doesn't have monuments? Very difficult to explain to the people who are not receptive. But I can tell you, you're all listening, where the spiritual culture is, where the right thinking is there monuments are also an outcome of an era. I think of I must leave behind my footprints. You understand, create monuments. Somebody's wife died and he created Taj Mahal. It's a monument. It's just a grave, Ji. But is it not? I said these are all valid. These are all that is not valid. That is all what is available in samsara. But if somebody were to put me a question, why there are no monuments? My clarity, it is the glory of this culture that we don't go for monuments. We just think of the truth and we live. We live simple and live simply by knowing the truth in between. Therefore, this is a different kind of a glory. Okay, then comes the next paragraph. And in the next paragraph, what we have is, we'll see in the next class, always we have vakyas when Bhagavan says, let me become man. He thought and let me become man. He thought and let me become man. He thought, let me become man. What is this? Is it not thinking? He said, this is also a part of prakriya to convey the oneness. We talk about he thought, we say he thought, not to prove that he thought. He created, not to prove that he created. Whatever we say not to prove what we say, but to prove the oneness, to convey the oneness. Oneness is the tatparya. We don't try to prove what we say. We say to take you to what we imply, the oneness. One is uktam, the other is vivakshitam. That is tatparya. What they mean to say. Purnamadaha purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Achaji, we will have a little Sanskrit class, okay? Yes, we will have it.